Hey guys, it's Jeff. Thanks for checking out my video today. This one's going to be on something that was originally introduced about 2-3 years ago, and then it got discontinued but has recently made a return in primary arms lineup. So this is going to be on the original Gen 1 ACSS Reticle Cyclops Prizm optic for your AR, your AK, your shotgun, whatever you want to use it on, and I'm going to cover a lot of the features and specifications of this optic. Stay tuned. Alright guys, thanks for checking out this video, but before I get started, I just want to say if you like this kind of content, you want to help support the channel, please throw me a like or a subscribe. Subscriptions and likes really do tell the algorithm that this is the kind of content you want to continue to see on their platform. You can check me out on all my other social media sites. I've got a link to that in the description below, and if there's anything here that I demonstrate on the table that you want to see more of, or you want to pick up for yourself, I'll have links for those as well in the description. So with that, let's go ahead and get started on this. This is a optic that was around a couple of years ago. They discontinued it on their website and they've recently brought it back due to popular demand. Now, what is it? It is a prism sight with no magnification in a 25mm tube. It has capped reticles, big knurling for your diopter, your illumination brightness settings, your windage and elevation. It comes with a removable base, so if you want to change the co-witness from a standard co-witness height riser that comes with it from the factory to a 1/3 co-witness or a super high rise co-witness, you can get those plates sent to you. You just have to check their website. I think there is an additional cost for those if that's something that's interesting to you. It comes with a diopter adjustment, and they did increase the size of these. I know at one time they were smaller, but on the Prizm, the Cyclops, they've always been a fairly decent size, so you can get a good purchase on here. Under the illumination knob, you do have the 2032 battery. This is a multi-coated lens. Has a 3.71 inch eye relief on this guy. Now I will say that eye relief is kind of deceiving because you can get quite a distance on it. Now if you're looking to have, you know, an optic for your battle rifle setup or your hunting setup and you want to have a little bit of magnification, obviously you can get something like this. This is the Meprolight. This is the MX3T, and I'll have a link to this in the description below if you're interested in something like this. Great magnifier, but any 3X optic should line up with this. It is a standard height sight that comes with this riser, so as long as the riser on your magnifier is a standard height, you know, the two will line up and you will be able to get some magnification out of it. Now, I personally chose the one without magnification. I'm not a fan of magnification in a prism optic. I want a optic that provides a lot of utility, and you know, as long as you're shooting out to 100, maybe 200 yards, you shouldn't need any magnification. And I did want an etched reticle because on a red dots are great. You know, they do have a lot of function and features that are available to them. But I've always been a fan on any of my optic videos. I've always talked about redundancy, right? So if you have a red dot, you want to run a backup iron sight, at least some sort of sighting system, because if that power goes out, those batteries die, and you don't have spare batteries, you're not going to have an optic you can use. You'll have a tube you can look down, but that's the extent of it. And whenever you're discharging a firearm, you want to make sure that you're hitting what you're aiming at. So having an etched reticle to me is a critical redundant option on an optic. And because this is a 1X optic, the eye relief on this guy is really good. So getting a sight picture, you know, being able to acquire a target at distance is going to be really easy. Now, if you want to take this guy out further, maybe you're out in the, you know, in the far west, west of the Mississippi area, and your ranges are going to be 300, 400 yards. Well, that's where you throw a magnifier on there, and now you can get your ranging distances out using the ACSS reticle to further distances, right? You can push it to 300 or 400 yards. Now, do you need this for an AR-15? Is it calibrated only for the AR-15? No, it is not. It is calibrated for a bunch of different guns. Now, they do have, in their published literature, they do have have all the different ranging options for your sighting system. So if you're using it for a 308 or something else, you can look on their site, and I'll roll an image of it up, up in the top up here somewhere, so you can see it for yourself. But it is calibrated for different ranges. You just have to hold the ACSS reticle in different locations for your particular caliber of cartridge you're firing. So what do I think about the Primary Arms Cyclops Prizm optic? I am a huge fan. I bought this with my own money. I didn't get a discount. I got this 100% retail for me, and I've been wanting to do a video on this, and last time I looked at doing a video, they were out of stock and they were discontinued production. So I was ecstatic to find out that these guys had come back into production and were continuing to be sold. Now I asked Primary Arms at the Primary Arms range day how long they would continue to be producing these guys, and they said as long as there was demand. So I think there's demand. I think this is a great optic. If it's something that is interesting to you, you've looked at maybe the MD25 and you were disappointed by the fact that it was not an etched reticle, that it's an illuminated ACS reticle, then this is the optic for you. The MD25 is a great reticle as well. Obviously you have to pair it up with something like this to really make it shine, but it is an illuminated reticle onto that piece of glass. This is etched. So this is the optic to have. If you're not a fan of the eye relief on some of those newer Cyclopses and you want something a little bit more original in a larger tube, great optic, highly recommend it. Now with that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up here. I will say you got to stay active with your Congress people right now. I think there's a lot of assault going on. I've done a couple of videos about what happened in Uvalde. A couple of other things have occurred in the United States since then, and every time a shooting occurs, they're putting our rights into the crosshairs to make them a target and limit our access to these tools. So make sure you let your Congress people know that you do not support an infringement on your rights. So with that, guys, I'm going to end it here. Stay safe, stay vigilant, stay active, stay in the fight, because the fight for your rights never ends. And with that, I'll say take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.